Morning, everybody. It's cloudy. We might get some rain today. Hopefully. We need it extremely bad. We are actually in a drought right now. But come along for the ride. Let's see what we can get into today. I want to go take a look at some of our fields in Holly. Those beans, because it has not rained in that area in so long, the beans are really struggling to grow, and they have not reached canopy yet. And when I talk about canopy, if you look at these beans here behind the house, these are all in canopy. Canopy means that when the beans grow up, they get so tall they start bushing out and they grow together, and they don't let any sunlight down to the ground to allow weeds to grow up through them. So when you hear a farmer talk about canopy, this is what they're talking about. The beans being really thick and grown together. The beans in our Holly, Oakland County area, those beans are in an extreme drought right now. They haven't had rain in I don't know how long. They're struggling to grow right now. They look terrible. They're short, and it's been about a month since we sprayed, so I want to go over there and see what kind of weed pressure we have going on over there. Everything looks good around the home farm, other than this little spot I missed because I didn't want to spray my yard. So we're gonna go take a look at that. Oh, I got to show you this. I sprayed my driveway for weeds a while back. Well, I've been walking back and forth to check the beans behind the house, and if you look, you can see my footprints from walking through the spray in the driveway and tracking it across the grass. So yeah, I killed my grass where my footprints are. It happens. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. If you look at these beans, see how short they are? These beans are very short. They have not reached canopy yet, so you can still see dirt. And because you can still see dirt, you're going to have weeds coming back up. There's a chance we're going to have to respray this field later in the year. So we'll see. This does not need to be sprayed right now, but in about, if we get some rain, which I'm hoping we will at some point, it will be it'll blow some of these weeds up out of here, and then we'll have to be resprayed. But I'm digging down with my foot right now, trying to find moisture. I dug down 2 inches as far as I could with the heel of my boot, and there's no moisture in the ground. It's just bone dry. That's a huge problem. This field is actually looking pretty good for being no rain here. I'm actually impressed with the way these are growing. There's a few other fields that look really bad because we haven't had any rain. So I'm heading over there now. It's really discouraging. You spend all this blood, sweat, tears, and money into planting and trying to grow a good, healthy crop, and the key component to growing a good, healthy crop is water. Well, when Mother Nature doesn't provide water, it's a problem. I don't know what's been going on this year. It's like we're right in the middle of the Great Divide. We'll have a storm heading our way, and it divides and goes south of us and north of us. North of us is getting a lot of rain, south of us is getting rain, but us, it's like we're in one stretch that just doesn't get any rain. I mean, lawns are dead and brown and everything else. And this area that we're renting now, I mean, Look at that. The yard's brown. It needs rain, but can only do so much when Mother Nature don't provide the water. You can only do is deal with what you're dealt with, I guess. So, well, let's go walk another field. You can only play the hand that's dealt. That's what I was trying to babble out. I don't know. My mind was thinking about 4 other things at once when I was talking to you. I want to show you this. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about. It's supposed to rain today. This is my phone. That blue dot right at my thumb right there is us. All that rain is going north of us. Garbage. This field, I don't see any more any weed pressure coming back on this field. Everything seems to be dead, and I don't see any new life coming back. The field across the road, that has lamb's quarters coming back, so that's going to have to get resprayed. So far from what I've seen, there's about 80 acres that needs to be resprayed that I've checked so far. So now it's time to head over to the next fields and look at those. I looked at my planting book. What I have is 110 acres that need to be resprayed. And did my calculations on spray, and it looks like I'm going to need about 30 gallons of chemicals, which it's not terrible, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I have about 5 gallons of glyphosate, which is Roundup. Glyphosate is just the technical term of it. Roundup is a name brand. But I have about 5 gallons of glyphosate and probably 20 gallons of Enlist 1. I could probably get by with just enough Enlist, but I'm going to have to get about 30 more gallons of glyphosate. And then I can spray those fields. I'm going to plan on doing that the first of next week, because they're at, supposedly, at 4 and 5 o'clock today, we're at 100% chance of rain, which fingers crossed, because we need it bad. But it's kind of hazy out, it's getting warm out, but the sun's shining. We'll see. I do need to get the little tractor hooked up. I have the rototiller on the back of the little tractor right there. I need to get the rototiller off and get a brush hog hooked up to it. We found a little spot we want to brush hog. Get the weeds brush hogged out of there, then hook back up to the rototiller, and then go rototill that spot up so we can plant a food plot there. But I gotta go find the brush hog. I haven't seen it in a while, so I need to go figure out where that's at. I found it. It's back here behind the barn and all the junk. Guess I need to go get the forks on the skid steer so I can move some of these totes and stuff out of the way and go dig that thing out of the pile. Probably ought to grease it too, I'm assuming. Yeah, we'll do that. I want to give you guys a quick update. The last few days I haven't made a video or put one out just because things have been slow on the farm. You guys get that. It's, you know, we're in between spraying and harvesting and planting, and it's the slow time. So what we have been doing is, where all these weeds are behind the equipment here, that's all dirt mounds. A few years ago, they were cleaning ditches around here, the county was, and we had them dump all the dirt here, and we pushed all the dirt up into these mounds, and basically we created a huge dirt wall because we can use the dirt in other places. I mean, it looks like all weeds right now, but that's actually big humps of dirt for a while. And you can see it started here and it went all the way over to the end down there where the pine trees are. Well, as you can see, we've been doing some dirt work. We've got rid of this pile, portion of this pile. We've been working on filling in some of the field roads and field approaches and things like that, making it a little wider, a little smoother, leveling stuff out. And right now, we're waiting for it to rain. It's got to rain and pack, that rain's got to pack all that stuff down, and so we can finish filling in some other areas. But until it rains, we really can't do nothing. We're kind of at a standstill on that too. So hopefully we get it today. Fingers crossed. Alright, if someone didn't know me any better, you'd think I'd actually be working with the sweat that I've got going on. But anyway, those that you know me, you know. Anyway, I got the brush hog hooked up. It actually looks kind of small behind this tractor, don't it? Anyway, this is the smallest tractor we got, other than my little riding lawnmower. The PTO shaft was rusted solid on this thing. It took a fair amount of penetrating oil to get it freed up. But I was able to get it freed up. While it was off, I took it and put it on the skid steer, raised it up, and sharpened the blades. It's probably due for some new blades because of how rounded off they were, but I got them the best I could. So I guess we'll go brush hog this little spot, and hopefully it'll rain before the day's end. Well, I got this brush hog. As you can see, our blind's up on the hill there. This is all brush hogged right down into the peat bog back there. What we do here is, we really haven't hunted this blind in probably 2 or 3 years. I brush hogged this last year, and we just threw some white-tailed mix down, which it had some radishes, some turnips, clover, things like that. We just kind of threw it in here last year, and we never really hunted this. This year, I brush hogged all this down. I'm going to come in a day or two with the rototiller. I'm going to rototill this up, and we're going to throw some. We have some leftover bean seed from last year that's got spilled, so it's dirty, so it's got some rocks in it, some dirt, things like that. You can't run it through the planter, but we've got one of those whirligig spreaders that we're going to put on the back of the tractor, and we'll put the bean seed in there, and we'll just kind of spread it here and then run over it with the packer, and what grows, great. It'll be for the animals, and what doesn't grow, whatever. So that's kind of what we're doing here. By golly, we might actually get some rain. It's thundering. I don't know if you can hear the rumbles or not. I think I'm going to end the video here. Not a whole lot going on, like I said, but hopefully we'll get some rain. That'll be a good thing. We don't need a big storm blowing down a bunch of trees, but we really could use a good soaking of rain. You guys have a nice evening. We'll talk to you later.